Hi, and welcome to the Lake George Elementary School Library. This is an informational video to teach you a little bit about our philosophy, our programs, our resources, our procedures and policies, and what to expect when your child or you are a part of the Lake George Elementary School. Hi, I'm Bridget Cressman. I'm the Lake George Elementary School librarian. I work alongside Renee Chance in the library. She is our aide, and together we work to help your students or the students at Lake George Elementary School have a love of reading. We pride ourselves on connecting with your child to make them feel welcome here in the library, whether they're reading books or they're participating in a program that we offer, or they're here to just be present in the space and collaborate with peers or with their classroom teachers. So welcome to our library. We are so lucky at the Lake George Elementary School because we have been able to build a very dynamic program with the support of our administrators, our teachers, and our families. So in our library, we definitely are like a traditional library, and we pride ourselves on helping kids find just right books and fostering a love of reading. Additionally, though, we provide a space where we can offer programs and opportunities for students to show leadership, opportunities for students to collaborate and be part of a larger learning community. And one thing that I really try and that we build most of our programs around is that we are really supporting your child in becoming lifelong learners. We want students to know how to ask good questions. We want them to be able to find information and evaluate information and learn and grow from their learning experiences and help share their knowledge with others. And through this, we have built a very robust and dynamic program that I am sure that your child will enjoy. And if at any time you have a question about their learning experience or the philosophy of the school library, please feel free to reach out because I am here to help support everyone in this process in building strong, confident, compassionate learners. So I'm always proud about the amount of programs that we offer for our students and sometimes even our families. And you will see over the next two slides some examples between book fairs and pumpkin decorating contests and lunch bunch book groups and battle of the books. We have so much that we offer your children, and you can go ahead and always visit the library webpage to see what programs are available that month. In addition, we often advertise a lot of those programs on social media. We put the information in the bulletins, and we also send information home in backpacks oftentimes. So stay tuned and on the lookout because some of the programs are really rich in literature in which the time is spent reading books, and other times we're in decorating pumpkins for Halloween and then having those pumpkins on display for an election, a school-wide election. So we have so many great ways to connect reading and literature and learning to our experiences, and we hope that your children take advantage of some of them. We offer 2 book fairs a year. I can't wait to see the information come out about those and to see kids getting books. They may or may not be virtual this year, so we'll have to stay tuned on that information, but we will be having book fairs in some capacity this year. In addition, I wanted to share that we will be having an author visit again this year, and again, that information will be coming home as to exactly what that will look like for your students, but we promise to deliver some dynamic programs this year, and as always, you can follow us on social media, and that information will be shared there and it will be sent home with your students as well and be posted on the school bulletin. So stay tuned, and we look forward to engaging with your child on many levels through many different programs and events this year. One of the most valuable pieces of information I'm going to give you today is the information that's on the library website. If you've never been to the library website, you can access it through the district website by clicking on the elementary school and then the library tab. Or you can type in www.lakegeorgelmc.com library.weebly.com, and you can get right to the library website. This is a site that I highly suggest that you bookmark on your device or your child's device so that they can access it when they're at home trying to do homework or working remotely. This website has access to resources that the teachers also use in the classroom. It also has access to databases, so if students are trying to look up information, these resources have information at their reading level. Oftentimes the text will read to them as well, so if they are researching something in the classroom, this is a reliable, safe resource for them. And additionally, we also have free ebooks on here that students can read right on their device if they access Sora. And this is also how your student's going to know about the programs that run in the library. So please take the time to help your child locate this. If you wanted to use the passwords on the library website, if you use any of the databases, you will need a password to get in there. I have shared that password with the students, but please feel free to reach out to me through email if you want the password that will take you to the password page. And then when you're at home, you'll have access to things like National Geographic for Kids, Bookflix, Tumble Books, Brain Pop, World Book Encyclopedia, and many, many more. If you have any questions about the library website, I am happy to help you. I'm happy to get it set up with you, and I'm also happy to explore the resources and give you a tutorial on the web page and all that it encompasses. In order to make it easier for students to access the library website from home, I am going to be providing every student this year with this sticker that's featured. If you take the sticker and stick it in a safe place at home, maybe in an office or on a folder or somewhere where the student can scan it anytime they need to use the library website, they can scan their phone right over that QR code and a link will pop up and it will take them directly to the library website. From here, they can access the databases, they can access free ebooks, and they can also get onto the library catalog and place books on hold. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool to easily access the library website. And again, I will be sending these home with all students this year for them to keep at home so that it's a quick and handy way to get to the library website. I know that I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I wanted to share with you that we are very active on social media. This is a great way for families and students to receive information. Also, it's a great way for us to promote the wonderful things that are happening in the library. I oftentimes post wonderful pictures from the day that just make me smile, and hopefully it makes families smile as well as when they see them. But when we have things coming up like book fairs or special events, or maybe we want to get some information out about new procedures in the library, we will use social media to do so. So one of the social media outlets we use is Facebook. We also use Twitter, and we do use Instagram, but on a more limited basis. These are great ways to stay up to date on what's happening and also just be reminded of how much the students at Lake George Elementary School really do enjoy our library. I hope that you do join some of our social media feeds by searching LGES Library. If you don't want to do social media, or if you want to do social media and receive information through the app Remind, we do have that app available as well. There are directions as to how to sign up for the LGES Library Remind, and those are located right on this slide. So if you follow those directions, you will receive information through Remind when important events and programs do come up. I do not post and remind as often, but I do notify you for special events such as author visits, or if paperwork needs to be turned into the library for a special event. So that is always an option, and I'd be happy to have you join Remind to receive information. But again, social media such as Facebook and Twitter are our two most popular ways of sharing information. One of my favorite things about the Lake George Elementary School Library is that we work hard to meet your students' needs when they need it. And so being a library that typically runs on a flexible schedule, I am allowed to push into the student's classroom for instruction, and not just instruction, but integrated instruction. So when your students or your child is learning about a subject in, say, science or social studies, that gives me a great opportunity to show them some great resources for finding the information that they're looking for. It also gives me a great opportunity to teach them how to evaluate those resources. It gives me a great opportunity to teach them how to ask really good questions. It gives me the opportunity to teach them important 21st century skills such as communicating, collaborating, and creating. In addition, I also spend a ton of time working on both digital and media literacy skills with your students. I help them learn about what apps or what tools might be most meaningful to what they're trying to do. I teach them how to navigate and use those tools and to apply them. And ultimately, my job is to teach them to use their information and their new learning to share and help others grow. So I am ecstatic that I am in a school that allows for me to do that with your children, and I think that it's the most meaningful for them. So you will see me in the classrooms, or you'll hear the students talking about how I'm in their classroom often, and I'm just as equally as important as their classroom teacher in teaching them important skills that will help them succeed. So in the Lake George Library, we have some procedures that we have set up for our students that I think are pretty exciting. One is that pre-COVID, these don't apply to when we're dealing with COVID regulations, but pre-COVID, students can come to the library whenever they want. Mrs. Chance is always in the library and is available to help students pick out books and check books out. So that means if somebody is done with their book, they can come and get a book. They don't have to wait for their class day to come. However, during COVID, we do have a set of procedures that are slightly different where students come every 6 days, and we will talk about that in the next slide. But what I did want to tell you was that students can check 5 books out of our library at a time. Additionally, they can keep those books for up to 2 weeks. So they have a nice long lending period, and they also have the ability to check out multiple books. If you ever lose a book in the library, I know that it can be challenging to keep track of 5 books. I always tell people we send home overdue notices on a monthly basis. And if you do receive an overdue notice, take some time to see if that book comes up. Don't worry about sending in a check right away for that payment. If you do get several notices after a few months and you can't find it, then you can use the statement as a receipt, which notifies you how much you do owe the school district. But please don't panic. These are just reminders kind of to get you to look for those books. And if they do pop up over the next few weeks or a month, that would be great. If not, then we'll take care of it at that time. As I mentioned, the rules have changed and the policies and procedures have changed slightly to meet the needs of COVID regulations. So one of the things that we are doing is that all students are currently coming down to the library with an adult. Whether I walk to the classroom to get them or the teachers bring them, they are with adults at all times when it comes to library book checkout and visitations. So when a child checks a book out of the library, they have it to read and enjoy. When they bring that book back to the library, that library is placed into quarantine for 72 hours. And then it comes back out and we check that book in at that time and put that book back onto the shelves. If a child is in the library and they check out a book to look at, but not check it out of the library, that book might not be a book that they like. If it's a book that they decide not to take home with them, we ask them to put them in what we call a browsing bin. A browsing bin is a location in the library that they can place the book, and those books, even though they did not check them out, are not put back on the shelves. They are put into quarantine for 72 hours. The reason being is we want to make sure that that child is the only person to have touched that book before it is properly quarantined and put back into the hands of other students. Additionally, we want to keep spacing in the library, so what we have done is we have made browsing boxes on the floor, and students must keep a box between them and the next student so that no students are closer than 6 feet at any time within the library visitation. And finally, the other things that we have done is we put directional arrows on the floor so that students can move in one direction so students do not bump into one another or cross paths as few times as possible. If there's any questions at any point about some of the procedures or policies for COVID, you can feel free to reach out to me. For our virtual learners, I will be pushing into your classrooms to deliver instructions. So, however your teacher has set up for you to receive instruction simultaneously will be how I do that as well. So, if your teacher is using Google Meet, I will be teaching live through the Google Meet within your classroom during your scheduled time. And additionally, I do not have my own Google Classroom set up for integrated instruction, so you will not need a separate code for Mrs. Crossman. If you happen to be in kindergarten, I have set up Google pages for all our kindergarten classes, and that information has been shared with you to receive a code. If you have not received that code, please feel free to reach out and I will give that to you. If you are virtual and you would like to access books from our library, which I really hope you do, I have several opportunities set up for you. One of those opportunities is that you can request a Warrior Box, which is a custom box filled with 5 books that I hand select for you based on a topic that you choose. And you can come pick those books up curbside on either Tuesday or Wednesday during specified times. Those times can be found on the library website right on the homepage. And remember, to get to the library website, you would type in www.lakegeorgelmc.weebly.com. And also on the website, I have put a tutorial that will show you how to put books on hold. So you can browse our catalog and see what books are available. You can place a book on hold, and you could pick those books up curbside on either Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. Again, that schedule is available on the library website as well. If you ever have any questions about how to place a book on hold or put a Warrior Box on hold, let me know, and I would be happy to help you. Additionally, there is also on the library website a tutorial on how to access Sora. Sora is an app that we use to download free ebooks and audiobooks right on your device. It is an excellent resource, especially if you are at home and don't have access to our physical library. So please explore some of those options, and of course, reach out with any questions that you have. I hope that you have received some useful information during this presentation, and I wanted to share with you our contact information so that if you have any additional questions, you can reach out to us. Also, if you ever throughout the year want to reach out to us about an idea, a question, a concern, I am happy to help you. Reaching me through email is definitely the best way, and I look forward to hearing from you. I love when you share positive experiences with me as well, so feel free to let me know if we help to meet your child's needs in any way, or if you really loved a program and you want to see more of it, or if you would like us to add something to our program. We are all ears. This is our library, our LGES library. That includes the library for our students, our staff members, our administrators, and our families. So please reach out with any questions, concerns, or ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Have a wonderful year, everybody.